Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Timo.
Hi folks, Constanza here. So excited to have you join us today.
I can't believe we're already on episode 20. Time really flies.
Tell me about it. Feels like just yesterday we started this little adventure.
Seriously. So Constanza, have you ever had one of those days where talking to kids feels like trying to interpret a secret code?
Oh, every single day. Between my 7th graders and my nieces, I'm like, is there a Rosetta Stone for tween slang?
Exactly. Just yesterday, my daughter said something about being extra, and I was like, wait, is that good or bad?
Been there. The language evolves faster than we can keep up.
Right? And that's why I'm super pumped to chat about today's book, How to Talk So Kids Will Listen and Listen So Kids Will Talk, by Adele, Faber, and Elaine Mazlish.
Same here. This book has been a total game changer for me, not just as a teacher, but as an aunt too.
Really? What's the biggest insight you've gained?
Honestly, learning to stop and actually listen instead of jumping in with solutions.
Uh-huh.
For example, one of my students was upset about a test grade. Instead of saying, study harder next time, I said, sounds like you're really disappointed.
And how did that go?
He opened up about his anxiety, and we came up with a plan together.
That's amazing.
It really was an eye-opener for me.
I had a similar experience with my son. He was frustrated because his kite wouldn't fly.
Oh, been there.
Instead of saying, keep trying, I acknowledged his feeling. That must be so frustrating. He felt heard and was more willing to problem solve.
Isn't it incredible how that works?
Absolutely. Sometimes a little empathy goes a long way.
Totally agree. Do you ever find it hard to resist the urge to fix things immediately?
All the time. I'm a natural fixer.
Same here.
But the book emphasizes that kids often just need a sounding board.
Right, and that can be tough when we're short on time.
Exactly. But investing that time up front pays off later.
True. I've noticed that when I listen more, my students are more engaged.
Uh-huh.
By the way, have you tried the offering choices technique?
Oh, yes. Just yesterday, my daughter didn't want to do her homework. So I asked, would you like to do math or reading first?
And she picked one?
She chose reading and got started right away.
That's fantastic.
But sometimes I wonder if giving choices all the time might backfire.
How so?
Well, what if they start expecting to have a say in everything?
Good point. I think it's about balance.
Agreed. Offering choices within acceptable limits.
Exactly. Like, do you want to wear the red shirt or the blue one? Not, do you want to get dressed or not?
Definitely. Learned that one the hard way.
Same here.
Speaking of challenges, how do you handle sibling rivalry?
Oh boy, that's a big one in my house.
I can imagine.
The book suggests involving the kids in problem solving.
How does that really work?
Sometimes. The other day, my kids were arguing over the iPad. I said, looks like we need to figure out a way for both of you to have a turn.
And then?
They decided to set a timer and take turns.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, but other times it's World War III.
Well, no method is foolproof.
True that.
Do you find these techniques hard to apply consistently?
Absolutely. Especially when I'm tired or stressed.
Same here. It's easy to slip back into old habits.
Exactly. But I guess being aware is the first step.
Couldn't agree more.
Hey, have you noticed that these communication skills work with adults too?
Oh, definitely. I used them with my colleague the other day.
Really? How did that go?
She was upset about a project deadline. Instead of saying, just deal with it, I said, sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed.
And?
She opened up and we found a way to redistribute the workload.
That's awesome.
It's amazing how universal these skills are.
Totally. Makes me think we should teach this stuff in schools.
Right? Emotional intelligence for the win.
Absolutely.
But do you ever get pushback from people who think these methods are too soft?
All the time. Some think it's being permissive.
And how do you respond?
I explain that it's about respect and building cooperation, not letting kids run the show.
Well said.
Thanks.
By the way, have you tried the describe the problem technique?
Remind me how that one goes.
Instead of blaming, you describe what's wrong. Like, I see toys all over the floor that could get stepped on.
Oh, yes. I've used that. It works surprisingly well.
Right? It shifts the focus from the person to the problem.
Exactly. Less defensive reactions.
Uh,
Do you have any funny stories where these techniques backfired?
oh, I've got one. I tried to acknowledge my niece's feelings about not wanting to leave the park. I said, you really wish you could stay here all day.
And?
She looked at me and said, yeah, so I'm not leaving.
Oh no.
Yeah, didn't quite go as planned.
Kids keep us humble, don't they?
That's for sure.
Any final thoughts on the book?
Just that it's a must read for anyone interacting with kids or people in general.
Agreed. It's been a game changer for me.
Me too.
Well, looks like we're out of time.
Already? Time flies.
Indeed. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Keep those lines of communication open, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Well, that's a wrap for this episode of From the Book Nook.
Thanks so much for joining us. We love having you here in our cozy little corner of the book world.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.
And we'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts and book recommendations in the comments.
It really helps us connect with more book lovers like you.
And we'll meet you right back here in the Nook.
Until next time, keep turning those pages.
Happy reading.
Happy reading.